Yeah, yeah. What? Yeah, yeah. Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. What? Yeah, yeah, yeah. What? Lay ill kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul. What is up, my people? Today, yeah, coming with another wonderful episode of Late Night Live. We are chilling on screen, doing our thing. Behind me, shouts to Dave Farrar of Geek Fine Art for the artist sponsored wall and some dope stuff. And shout out to you for rolling through and hanging with a player. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up, and I'll give you some love. You hit that thumbs down, and I'm gonna send Deathstroke after you. That's just how it is. We ain't playing no games out here. Chitty chitty bang bang. You know what I'm saying? So we're here to talk about Titans. And last time we spoke, it was me, Chauncey K. Robinson. We were chilling, hanging at Shriek Fest. We were talking about Aqualad and everything that went down. And since then, a lot of stuff has transpired. We've seen Bruce Wayne, and we've seen Deathstroke, and we've seen Jericho, and we've even seen Connor. Um, I want to start at Deathstroke for a second and get you on point with what I'm thinking. Deathstroke may be the most dangerous person to villains and heroes in this particular universe. The way we saw him handle, um, and very easily, the way we saw him handle Dr. Light, the way we saw him handle Wonder Girl, the way we saw him handle, Hank, any number of people is is commendable. And speaking of the commendable, just in general, I love the show. Titans is cool. Been having a ball watching it, and the production value is crazy, but also the fight choreography has been straight up on point. I cannot hate on it. I cannot I cannot deny the freshness, the dopeness that is like these are some solid fights. And when I say solid fights, I'm talking about, we catch up and we're like, yo, we gotta save Jason, man, because like, yo, he captured, right? And Hank's like, yo, man, I know how it is. I've been in that situation. And they got to go. And, of course, Dick wanting to be the superhero all himself. He like, I got this. I'm going to do this on my own. And we see a situation where we we get not only Dick Grayson versus Deathstroke, but also Dick Grayson plus Starfire versus Deathstroke. And that's a dope scene. Like straight up, that alone is just a fire scene. And the way they play it out is I love the fact that not once is Deathstroke seemingly worried about fighting two, three, one, no matter the amount of opponents. He doesn't seem worried whatsoever when it comes to, battling the Titans at all. He's lethal, he's effective, he's precise, and dag if it don't look good, bruh. Like I ain't going front. Those two, the Dick Grayson and Starfire versus Deathstroke was an awesome scene. And then to end it on, of course, end it on your boy Jason falling down. That was wow. I mean, it was crazy. It was sad, kind of crazy at the same time, but it was still dope to see how they, the way they played with Jason's mindset before, during, and after his capture. Before he was like, yo, they're treating us like kids, treating us like outcasts, like we don't have no skills. I'm gonna go do my thing. And then when he gets captured, he has this kind of, he's scared, he's definitely in over his head. but he kind of puts on this mask of being strong. And even so, where he's able to attack Dr. Light and sort of get away, I mean, kind of halfway get out of bondage, sort of. And then after falling and being saved by Connor, we see a very PTSD version of Jason Todd, which is interesting for his character to go through so much in this one season, him alone. Not even talking about Rose and how basically she was killed by Raven. You know what I'm saying? An old girl just popped locked back to life. Um, it's just nice to see that kind of character development with just one character himself. Now, I did want to jump to your girl Starfire because Starfire is the leading lady of this show, and I think that Starfire deserves the attention because okay, uh, without mincing words, it seemed for a while that they were trying to position either Wonder Girl or Dawn as the leading ladies of this show. And the reason I have a problem with that is that it has a there's a slight air of using um, using Starfire or a black woman as Starfire to kind of like test it out and see if this will work. And then once you see that it works, then kind of slide her to the back and bring some other folks to the front. And I'm not sure, I can't say this how they're doing. I don't work in those offices. But from the outside looking in, we've seen this before. Now, I just wasn't feeling it, and I'm glad that she's back and she's involved. Um, because this seems like a situation where we're getting this writing and this dialogue of, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be involved. I don't want to, I don't want to be, in this team as a Titan anymore. Yet and still, they're still here, front and center, in multiple scenes, and we're not even seeing our girl that we started the show with. And I wasn't happy with that. Now we have been brought back in with Starfire, so I'm like, cool. She's back in the house. She's providing kind of like a counterbalance to the mindset of the older Titans that kind of don't want to be there, but are sort of obligated to be there. And when it comes to Hank and Dawn, I like Hank and Dawn in general. I just don't like them being the focal point of the story. I want to see what the story, kind of like this is kind of following with CKR. Look, Raven, Gar, Starfire, Robin. That's who we signed up for. Now all of a sudden we got Dawn, Wonder Girl, Hank, and they're all in the front. And I'm like, where's my team at? But I do understand that it helps provide like a larger conversation on not only their mindsets as opposed to the younger mindsets, their attitude towards the younger people, the way secrets are held, and also the history of the world inside the show. The Amazons, the Atlanteans, humans, other metas, all kinds of stuff. It does provide like a larger context for them to deal with, especially when it comes with the Bruce Wayne episode. So I definitely dig that, and I definitely dig how they're putting. I just want to make sure that this doesn't end up being the old Titan show instead of the Titan show. You know what I'm saying? With that said, back on your boy Deathstroke. Before I jump on someone else real quick, Deathstroke going up in that gallery and taking care of, like, yo. I mean, because it's not like old girl with the Amazons is whack in any way. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they ain't trained, like they ain't got no skills. And showing him handle her and handle her team lets you know that he is not playing no games. And like, dude is just as dangerous, as fiery, as, violent as he's ever been. You know what I'm saying? And then to set the trap for Wonder Girl the way he did was awesome. The way he broke her down was awesome, because in that moment you see that strength ain't all you need, and your training ain't done, girl. Because he I won't say he made short work of her, but it wasn't a long fight. It wasn't a long fight. Like, I mean, look at this. It took Dick and Starfire to kind of like knock him off his balance. You know what I'm saying? And you're talking about someone who has mad fighting skills and someone who has mad fighting skills and powers. So, that's you just got to give it to Deathstroke for being that dope villain that we've always knew he was, and kudos to the show for that. So sliding that to the side, I want to talk about Connor for a second. Connor and his entry into this show opens up so many doors for Luther, for Lex. And I love, and speaking of that, before I go too far, I love when Mercy says, I'm glad, because she thinks Connor's dead. She's like, I'm glad he's dead. Nothing with Luther's DNA needs to be super. You know our boss. Like, talking to Eve, she's like, you know our boss? Like, does he really need to be super? Like, she was like, I know where my bread is buttered. I know who signs my checks, but let's be for real. You and I know Luther's crazy. So, but it opens the door for Mercy, for Luther, for LexCorp, then Cadmus, then even further with Crypto, then Clark, then, Ma and Pa Kent. It opens so many doors without jumping in your face with it. Like, this show does a great job. This show does an awesome job of opening doors and providing looks into the history of this world without saying, hey guys, this is a reference. Look at the reference. Did you see the reference? Like, they make sure that they handle it in a way that's tasteful and cool without being overblown in a way where it's like, we get it. It's the world. It's the Green Lantern's there or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we get it. I love the fact that he meaning Connor, has to deal with the fighting and competing sides of his DNA's kind of emotion and almost mindset impressing upon him, especially at such a young age, because technically, I mean, he's 10 days old, which would make him sort of, I guess, mentally an infant, because I believe she said she wanted to study him for like a year or something before they even like let him out into the world. So her being positioned sort of as his mom, and then seeing him deal with what he is and come to terms with it and be willing to kind of stand and work through it is something that I love. I love it from the Young Justice show. I love it from some of the comic books, and I love to see it here. And I want to see how far it goes. Also, I like the moment where he was speaking Kryptonian, and Star was able to pick it up and even be like, it's a dead language. I don't even know how he's speaking it. So him almost playing out different roles in his mind of like how to go home, but ending up at Lex's house, and then finding out, oh, like the kids live a couple miles down the road, and just small things like that are just awesome about this show in a way that other shows don't do. This show doesn't, and once again I'll go back to it. This show doesn't see the need to, this show doesn't see the need to go out and scream at you at how they're connecting things. Whether it's with Bruce, which we'll talk about in a second, whether it's with the Joker, Starfire, Dick, Raven, Garfield, with Doom Patrol, any of that stuff, it doesn't seem the need to jump out in your face at how it's portraying itself and at how it's doing these things. And I love it for that. This show is incredible when it comes to that type of stuff. It's just top notch, top friggin' notch. So with that said, I love it. Starfire coming back and her being able to counterbalance Dick, her being able to talk to Ray, just a little bit and calm her. Her being able to kind of give Garfield a sense of peace shows how much more important she is singularly besides Hank, Dawn, and Wonder Girl put together. Like her just showing up brought a sense of calm into the room, which is how I love that about how they play her. And with the power that she has, being able to save Connor, she was like, "Oh, well, why you ain't just say you needed the sun? I got this. Yo, Ray, throw the," and I'm just calling her Ray for short because that's what I do. But anyway, yo, Ray, throw the circle around, contain it. We're gonna get this fire going. So I love that, and being able to work together and make those quick decisions without feeling I guess the shadow over them like Batman with Dick or something like that. Just being able to make decisions and do what's right with a level head is something that I love about Star, and what I think makes her the leading lady of this show. Now, with that said, what do you think happens going forward? Because this Friday, we got a new episode, and what do you think we're gonna get going forward now with, I guess, pulling Jason back from the ledge and also dealing with Connor and still with with Deathstroke out there, still there's a lot that we're still like so many pieces that are going on, which is cool because we kind of see a exiting of the old with the last three members and an entrance of the new. We got a wild card with someone like Rose, which we don't know how that'll play out, especially after seeing that she found Jericho's record at the place. And Dick, he's going to have to literally say like, "Yo, this is what happened. This is what happened to your brother. Initially, your father killed one of our friends. I approached him to use him. I ended up, befriending him. He's a great kid. He wanted to be like us. I opened up to him, told him all the truth, and then he ended up dying on a mission. Well, not even a mission. He ended up dying going back to see his father, but to protect me, because Deathstroke was whooping that ass, son. Like Deathstroke was whooping ass. Like he was smacking him this way and smacking him that way. And I am, I really want to see the mindset of Rose once she gets that story. And hopefully she gets that story because one, she needs it. It's her brother. Two, I'm tired of Dick keeping all these secrets. I mean, I know he wants to be like Batman, but even Bruce Wayne in the discussions, not the fake Bruce Wayne, we'll talk about that in a second, but the real Bruce Wayne that he has conversations with, I love that relationship they have as now sort of like an adult son and his father. It's a much different dynamic, and I think they're both better. I think they're both better for it, in a very good way. I think they're both much, much better for it. And I truly think that it's time for, and I guess by the end of the season, he'll probably go into being Nightwing, but I think him giving Rose that true story, of what really went on, will help Rose, regardless of what decision she makes to stay with the Titans or to go back to her father or just to bounce. At least she knows what happened. I'm tired of, especially Dick, keeping all these secrets, because my thing is, if you don't want to be like him, then don't be like him. You know what I'm saying? But you can't do it both ways. You can't have it both ways. You can't like dip your toe in the water of sort of deceit / lies by omission, and but then still want to befriend and bring people onto the team, because people are not going to want to stay with you. People are not going to fight with you or for you if they feel that you're always lying, bruh. So they got to get something. And I think that would do good to give her closure. I think it would be good to give her perspective about who the Titans are. If she knew that Jericho trusted and loved Dick enough to die for him, that might change her outlook on what the Titans are, who they are, and what they do, and why they do it. and what they represent. So I think that's very important for Rose to know. Also, speaking about people that need to know things, I love the fact that even though it kind of hurt him and it did make him violent for a second, Eve taking Connor to see the other 12 subjects and what had happened to them and where he comes from and the kind of the mindset that built him, and but also letting him know that this doesn't have to be the end of your journey. The end of your journey doesn't have to be that I'm some experiment. The end of your journey could be that I started here as an experiment, but I took that and built upon it and became a hero. I became someone that people loved, someone that people trusted, some people that could that people someone that people can look up to, all of that good stuff. So I hope that's where he takes that power, inside him. With that said, I do want to talk about Dick with his the Bruce Wayne episode. That just looked, without going too far, that just looked like an episode that was fun to be in. Like seeing Batman, like especially dance with the dancers, with him in the kitchen area, walk around and talk around people, with them pretending to not know he was there. I mean, they had to act in a way where they didn't know that he was thinking about this stuff. Like there was so much that I just enjoyed about that episode from just a creative standpoint. It was fun to watch. And it helped bring a little bit of levity in a situation that I think is dire, honestly, because they're still dealing with, Deathstroke wants his pound of flesh, you know, to quote Dick. So seeing Batman and seeing how Dick sees Batman in his subconscious is very interesting. And I hope that, like he said, telling the truth and continuing to tell the truth is what will keep that demon from him. You know what I'm saying? And I love that. I really love that. And him opening up to Jason will make their relationship stronger. Um, Jason being Jason feeling like he's a part instead of feeling like he's just someone's plus one will make him a better member of the team. It'll make Dick a better leader than he's ever been. Um, and I'm not saying that you have to tell someone every single thing you do, but telling things that you know are important for them to know will make him a better leader in the long run. And I think that that is going to be crucial for for them in the long term, in general. Like, period. This will change those relationships. Beyond everything. Um, with that said, I do think that we might end up with a couple deaths this season. I think that either Hank or Don are up on the chopping block at the end of the season. And I think that possibly Rose might take a L. I just feel like one of those three, or maybe two of those three, could take a L. It's not guaranteed, but they're just looking like it's looking like that to me. So with that said, lastly, I'd like to just touch on the the I guess open up to what could be the farther reaching implications of villains in general. Because right now we've seen that Dr. Light exists. Um, how far or how much further do you think do you think that how much further do you think they could go into the villain bag for the Titans? Because we've heard the name Hive, we've heard Cadmus, we've heard LexCorp. So Mercy could always be a villain. Just Mercy and her troops in general. Lex, we know Lex. Um, and Deathstroke, we could always go to other villains. And I wonder how much further they'll expand it. Because I'm loving Deathstroke, and I really like Deathstroke using other villains as pawns in a game to attack the Titans. Uh, with that said, I will say that the idea that I had that Rose could possibly be this version's Terra, I don't think so. I mean, maybe her and Jason did have a moment. So if they were gonna play it, so like I was thinking, and I don't know if you saw the last episode, but I was thinking that they might use Rose as this show's Terra, and then Jason would essentially be Garfield in that situation. And they did kiss. They had a little, a little thing. She was up in there, shaking a tail feather, and I was wondering if possibly they could use her as a stand-in for Terra. But at the same time, there's always an opportunity for a Terra to exist. And maybe we don't use up a storyline like that just so fast. But especially now knowing the way she responded when she saw Jericho's record, maybe not. But I was just saying that could be a possible entryway. Like maybe all this is still an act, and she's supposed to get in there in their good graces, become part of the team, and then slowly bring them to their knees, which would be an awesome awesome just storyline in general. So I do love that. I love the show. This show is crushing it in so many ways. It's not even funny. Like this show rocks on a whole nother level. Um, First thing, shouts to DC Universe in general. Doom Patrol was on point. Swamp Thing was crushing, man. Unfortunately, it got canceled. I still think there's a way they could have salvaged that show. I didn't think it did. It needed to be canceled. But and then Titans, which if you go back and or if you were with me, the first two episodes, I was kind of like, I don't know. Like the first episode, I was just like, I'm not feeling this. Second episode, I was like, well, maybe. And third episode, then I was on board. So it was like a slow build for that. Doom Patrol, I was always down. But this season is flames. Season is flames. I love the family dynamic with Deathstroke and his wife, well, ex-wife. Everything that went down with Jericho, the actor that played Jericho was awesome. Rose, Jason Todd's issue before, during, and after his capture. There is so much going on with these actors and how they're handling themselves. And it's just done in such, I guess, on something like DC Universe, they have a lot more freedom to focus on character or whatever, because I know Network is a whole different thing. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to say, oh, well, why don't they do Supergirl like this? Because I know Network, once you involve Network and, there's different rating standards and everything, and there's more eyeballs looking over scripts and acting and all that stuff. So, but Titans is crushing, man. Fighting, production value, man, interpersonal relationships, the villains are coming through. Like Dr. Light, the way they kind of tweaked him for this show, really, it just really shows that they're able to take a sort of dumb concept. I mean, straight up, Dr. Light is he has some dope powers, straight up. Dr. Light's powers are crazy dope, but it's just he's always looked kind of cheesy, and to take someone who looks kind of cheesy on the page and then turn him into something that's like, oh, okay, this makes sense. I gotta give him props for that. And then also knowing that this is in a broader world of even something like Doom Patrol is something fun to watch. It's something really fun to watch. It's something really fun to get into. I dig this, man. I dig this a lot. This show is a lot of fun to watch. We got what, 3 episodes left? I can't remember how many episodes. Like we got like 3 or 4, something like that episodes left. But these joints is on point. I'm digging it. Holla at me. I'm gonna holla at you. Down in them comments, let's talk Titans. I'm feeling it, man. I'm feeling the show a lot. And bring on the fighting scenes, yo. Bring on that, 2-on-2, 2-on-1, 1-on-3, whatever. The choreography here has been outstanding. So, guys, holla at me down below in them comments. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. If you hit that thumbs down, I'm gonna send Deathstroke after you. Just saying. Oh, speaking of Deathstroke, also his boy and the backstory that they gave him, mwah, perfect. Loved it. So, NERD, SOUL, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, music on Spotify, TikTok, all that cool stuff, and podcasts on iHeartRadio. So if you don't like looking at me, listen to the podcast. If you don't like listening to me, then turn on the YouTube, but then mute the sound so you don't have to hear me, and then put on another tab so you don't have to see me, but then you can still support your boy. That's all I'm saying. So before I get out of here, much love. Thank you for chilling me with thank you for chilling with me. And peace, 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 ho, peace, peace, what? Peace, 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 yeah, peace, peace, what? Hey, peace, 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 what? Ha, peace, yeah, peace, 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 ha, ha, ha.